Hello, as today is National Stress Awareness Day and also incidentally the first day of the second lockdown, I thought it might be useful in the last of my 30 days of stress tips to give you some thoughts on how you can manage the stress when working at home. We all know how difficult this can be, with children running around, demands from partners, working longer hours and never feeling like we can switch off. So first, establish a dedicated workspace. Ideally somewhere where you can leave your work stuff out and undisturbed. The less distractions the better. And just having an organised workspace will subconsciously affect your stress levels. Now if you can't have a space where you can leave your stuff out and where it's out of sight when you're not working and you have to use the kitchen table or something, then it's a good idea to use the same place every time so you get used to working when you're in that place. Establish some ground rules. Now this is particularly important with kids, partners, friends, etc. It's very difficult for children to understand that mummy is working and not just at home to play with them. Or that when you have the door to the spare room shut, they shouldn't come in without knocking first and only in an emergency. But it is as important to establish these ground rules with your friends and relatives, that when you are at work, you're not available for a chat on the phone or to meet up or to have a cup of coffee. No social media, except for work reasons of course. It is so easy to get distracted by Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, that we find ourselves wasting hours every day doing nothing more productive than seeing what everyone else is posting. So unless part of your job is to respond to or create social media posts, leave it until you finish for the day. And talking distractions, it's also very easy to get distracted by the dog that needs walking, and the ironing or the washing up that needs doing. Save these tasks for when you have a break. Talking of breaks, it's important to have regular breaks during the day away from the desk. This is the ideal time to load the dishwasher and play with a dog in the garden. Getting some fresh air can be really beneficial. Another tip is to plan your day. Now you can do this either by specifically writing down a schedule with times allocated to different aspects of your job or a prioritised to-do list. A friend of mine breaks his day up into 20-minute sections. He finds this really useful as he feels that he can fully concentrate for that time and then switches it by doing another part of his business for the next 20 minutes. Some people find it useful to have a particular routine for the beginning and the end of the day. So the beginning of the day may be to go for a morning run, get a cup of tea, put on a particular piece of music, switch off the TV, and at the end of the day, making a to-do list for the following day, switching off the computer and taking a dog for a walk. Maintain regular hours. It's all too easy to find yourself working into the night to get a particular job done. Would you be doing that if you were working in the office? Chances are that anything not achieved during the day will be left until tomorrow. So try and adopt the same mindset when working from home. Of course, one of the benefits of working from home is that you can be a little bit more flexible, but you need to acknowledge when you have done your time for the day and it's appropriate for you to stop. Eat the frog. Now this is a well-known saying. We often have a part of our job that we really don't enjoy doing, and because of that we tend to put it off and find other things to do instead. This is where the phrase eat the frog comes from. If you ate the frog, anything else wouldn't be as bad. So it's best to get those jobs out of the way as quick as you can so you can enjoy the rest of the day doing the things that you prefer. Socialise with colleagues, whether this is a weekly get-together on Zoom or a quick phone call over lunch. You wouldn't go to work in the office and not talk to anyone, so talking to your colleagues either online or on the phone is essential for losing that sense of isolation that people often get when working from home, especially if they live alone. Finally, think positively, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You think something's going to be awful, then it probably will be, as you will be looking for things to confirm your thoughts. But if you think something's going to be fine, chances are they will be, as again you look and see things that reinforce your belief. Something as simple as smiling can have a huge impact on the way you feel, even if the smile is one that you have to force initially. So I hope some of this has helped. Things are going to be tough for the next 4 weeks at least, and managing your stress is going to be very important. Try some mindfulness practices, as these are really good for long-term stress relief. And perhaps practice the square breathing or the heart math exercise that I shared in earlier videos if faced with a particularly difficult situation and you need an instant distressor. Last but not least, if you are feeling stressed, then talk to someone about it. Thanks for watching.